After months of huge changes and small details, we are finally ready to reveal our finished kitchen and give you a tour. When we moved into our home at the end of the summer, our kitchen looked like this. But now it's modern, it's spacious, it's inviting, and most importantly, it's us. I'm Whitney, this is Follow the Whisper, and welcome to our newly renovated kitchen. We're gonna show you some footage of putting the finishing touches in place, but stick around and I will be back in just a few minutes to give you a full tour. For a couple of weeks now, you have seen glimpses of our kitchen, and I'm sure that to you and through the lens, it probably looks pretty finished, but there actually are a few finishing touches that we need to get in place. So I'm gonna show you a few of the things that we need to finish off here. Jonathan is currently cutting toe kick pieces. The bottoms of our cabinets prior to toe kick have the unfinished edges on either side. And then on our island here, you can see that we need to cut a panel here for the back to cover the unfinished edges. We started doing our trim work, we were using wood filler. And then Jonathan's dad gave us a pro tip because, as I've told you many times, he's an expert painter. What he does is he buys this stuff here, which is called window glazing or glazing compound. It comes in a little bucket. You just get a bit in your hand, you form it into a ball, and then with your non-dominant hand, which for me is my right hand, you just push it into the hole. And with your dominant hand, you take your scraper here flat and you just slide up. Push it in, slide it up, and basically just fills the hole, leaves no residue, so there's barely anything for you to paint over. So, whoop, if we had known that from the get-go, we would have saved ourselves a coat of paint in a couple of areas. So yeah, window glazing, it's the way to go. Clearly it is a great hair day over here, but we are getting much closer to the finish line in our kitchen. Jonathan got all of the toe kick up yesterday. I don't love the job of caulking, but Jonathan had like a marathon Lowe's trip earlier today. He probably spent like 3 hours there. So I can show you here, I did start caulking. What I am now going to set out to do is paint the trim around the window. Then we just have a few more things to finish up, and then the kitchen will be officially done. I'm almost done.
Is that the last section?
There's a couple like straggly little random things, but this is the last big section.
Cool.
Almost done. Almost done. Don't fall, it'll sink. Almost done with caulking, and then we're like so close to having the kitchen done. Arlo can barely stand it. We're back for the tour, and before I take you into the kitchen, I wanted to start right here where the kitchen and the dining room meet. If you've been following us for any length of time now, right here was a wall. And I'll talk about that wall in a minute. This is our kitchen. The biggest and best change of our entire renovation, in my opinion, is that we were able to open things up. The kitchen as it existed before, it was a great kitchen, and honestly we didn't change a whole lot of the layout, but we wanted to make it ours. We wanted to modernize it, and we really feel like we've accomplished that. It's light, it's bright, and it's totally us now. If you walk over this way, we have all of our appliances on this side of the kitchen. The refrigerator is probably a little further out of the triangle than some folks would like, but for us, it is not an issue at all. It is handy being over here. I still feel like the flow works really well, and so as far as our appliance layout, we're really happy. The biggest upgrade for us in this kitchen versus the house that we came from is just the size. In our last kitchen, we pretty much had just the L configuration, and then this was like the dining room right here. So it is really nice for us in this house to have completely separate and large dining space and have the really big island. The other night, we were able to participate in a virtual pizza making class, all 4 of us, and we had plenty of room. Jonathan and I were set up over here, the kids were set up on that side, and we all were able to do our thing. As I already mentioned, we did keep the layout of the appliances the same as it was. However, the biggest change that we made with the kitchen was what we did on this side of the space. In the old kitchen, there was a floor-to-ceiling pantry here, which we felt was kind of obstructive. When you were coming in from the garage, blocked the flow and the view. We took that away and we added a beverage area. This was not a very expensive beverage refrigerator, and we absolutely love it. It has more than enough storage for us, and it's been perfect. We keep our coffee maker over here, and then we have our coffee supplies down here. We also have supplies for making cocktails. So again, trying to keep this area focused more on beverages, and it has worked out really well for us. One of my favorite features in our new kitchen is the shelves that we chose. These were Amish made over in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. They actually were old barn floors that were reclaimed. When we placed the order, they said that they really couldn't guarantee us what color they would be. They couldn't guarantee that they would have any sort of features, but we ended up with a color that almost perfectly matched our floors and had so many different knots and nail holes and distressing and things like that. So we love the way that those turned out. My goal is that every month I am going to decorate them with inspirational things or cozy things or whatever that have to do with that month of the year. Last month was the first month I did that. Of course, that was easy with Christmas, but this month I just put it up today. We have our January theme. A good friend of mine, Michelle, she has a little side business and has been making me all of these awesome signs. Love that. That's gonna be a fun way to decorate and make our home a little bit more cozy and fun every month. With our island, I've talked about its size, but a few other things functionality-wise. We did do the overhang on this side so that we can have 2 bar stools here. Perfect for the kids if they want to be doing schoolwork or helping me cook. We did put electric on each end of the island. It is nice to be able to plug things in. We opted for a light colored quartz countertop. It's a very similar material to what we used in our last renovation. We used that for about 4 years and loved it, so we decided to go with that choice again. The only drawback, in my opinion, with quartz is that it is not as heat resistant as some of the other natural stones like granite. But you know, we're just mindful of that. We know, and the kids know as well, that you can't take a pot or a pan directly from the stovetop and put it on the countertop, but otherwise it really is hardy and durable. Between the kids and us, we are pretty average when it comes to messes. We drink a lot of coffee, we drink a good bit of wine, and those things are prone to staining, and we've never had any issues with staining. So we're really happy with the countertops here so far. Hopefully they'll be as durable as they were in our last home. We did also opt for a trash drawer pull-out. I am 95% in love with that. When I am cooking and chopping things here at the island, I can very easily throw things away. However, I will say that when people are not here, it's not uncommon for us to have this pulled out and for this to be overflowing because we like to maximize the use of our trash bags. Don't always feel like taking them outside, especially in the wintertime when it is cold. So that would be the only thing that I don't like about it. Even though the appliances that were here previously were still functioning, they weren't matching. We had one that was white, we had a couple that were stainless steel, and so it was important for us to have a matching, not only finish, we also wanted to have a uniform brand. We opted for LG appliances and we've been very happy with those so far. Our refrigerator, I will list our specific model in the description in case you want to know the specifics, but we have a French door model here. It does have a lot of storage. The only thing that I would say storage-wise that maybe is not my favorite is that the door compartments are pretty shallow, and so a lot of bottles don't fit here. And that is probably because the ice maker is in the door. We have a drawer freezer on the bottom with a couple of different areas of storage here. Jonathan and Clark will tell you that the very best thing about this refrigerator is that it makes 4 types of ice. Yes, you heard that correctly. 4 types. It's called craft ice. From the door dispenser here, you have your typical water, your cubed ice, and your crushed ice. But if you open the freezer, you also have ice balls, which are particularly handy when you are making cocktails or when you are a 9-year-old boy who likes to put ice balls in everything. And we also have mini cubes of ice, kind of like Chick-fil-A ice, not quite as awesome as Chick-fil-A ice, but crunchy and small, and they're kind of fun too. The number one thing that I don't like about our refrigerator, and I know this is absolutely 120% a first world problem, but the water dispenser is so slow, like really slow, to the point that I don't use it. I get ice from the refrigerator, and then I come over to the sink and I get water from our sink because I happen to like the way that our public water tastes. This is probably the decision that people question or kind of give us a like puzzled look when we tell them about the most. And that is because we didn't put the microwave above the range. We did a range hood, which we love the appearance of, and we put our microwave in our island. It is not a specific microwave for an island. It is not a microwave drawer, and it is also not built in. It is just a typical microwave unit, and you just open it and utilize it like so. I like the way it looks. I like the ease of it. It's easier for the kids to use, and our kids are at pretty safe ages for using the microwave. They're 7 and 9. I can see that if storage was an issue for you, perhaps taking away a cabinet to have your microwave there could be problematic. But for us, we have tons of storage because right around the corner we have a walk-in pantry. It's not finished yet, so I'm not going to show you that space just yet. That is why we were able not only to put the microwave in the island, but we were able to get rid of that floor-to-ceiling pantry when you walked in the kitchen, and we still have plenty of space. I like the microwave in the island. Friends Katie and Jason are the ones who recommended it. Thanks guys, we love it. Dishwasher, not much to say about that. Pretty standard. It's very quiet. I do like that a lot. This is the first time that I have ever cooked with propane. We had natural gas, so you would think like if we have experience with natural gas, there wouldn't be too much of a learning curve, but I will say, in my opinion, I do think propane cooks just a little bit different. Biggest difference, in my opinion, is that you can smell it. Natural gas, I only noticed a smell when we were igniting the flame, but propane, it's pretty persistent throughout the cooking process. It doesn't smell bad, it's just that I wasn't used to that. We went for the more built-in look, so it doesn't have any height back here and no controls in the back. All of the controls are in the front. It does have an air fry feature, which I'm perfecting, but I am getting better at it, and it's really good when it works. Cabinet-wise, if you watched some of our prior videos, we actually opted for an RTA cabinet, which means that they were ready to assemble, and so yes, we did put them together ourselves. We saved hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in doing that, and while it wasn't always super fun in the moment, it did take us several days and the help of some friends and family. It was absolutely worth it in my opinion. I think they're beautiful. The construction seems very solid. They are solid wood. They are soft close, and the soft close works really well. In our last renovation, we opted for gray just because we're not the neatest people on the planet. We have young kids who are constantly painting or playing with Play-Doh or whatever. And if Jonathan wants to pan over there for just 1 second. I don't know if you can see Snoozy McGee over there, but we have a 155-pound dog who is in Newfoundland, and Newfoundlands are notorious droolers. I was going to leave it, I did leave it, so I wanted to show you here. Not uncommon to have slobber decorating things in our house. I left that there for 2 reasons. Number one, I wanted you to see what sometimes the cabinets look like. But number two, I wanted to show you how easy they clean up. I just get a wet paper towel and I wipe it off. Even though I was a little nervous about the white, they do clean very easily. And if nothing else, at least you can see the dirt. When you have darker cabinets, sure, maybe they don't show the dirt as much, but it's probably still there. So I can see it easier, just wipe it off. One other feature for our cabinets is that we did choose to take them right up to the ceilings. We have standard height ceilings in our house. We don't have anything grandiose or super tall. Our preference is just to take it right on up because it increases the storage pretty drastically. We did run into some issues where our ceiling wasn't exactly square or level at a couple of areas, but we were still able to install the cabinets and I think they look great. One of my favorite features in this kitchen is the window. Our house sits at the top of a hill and we can see for miles and miles and miles. And I don't think anybody particularly loves to wash dishes, but when you are washing dishes, you have that inviting view. It just makes it so much more enjoyable. Oh, and that was another thing, having a remnant of countertop used as the windowsill. It's awesome. It makes the windowsill a lot deeper, but it also just really ties it in with the countertops, and I think it looks great. In our window here, I'm having a hard time taking this down, and I think I might just leave it up as a little bit of Christmas all year. Jonathan made this with his coworkers. It was kind of their Christmas outing for the year. I know that it's pretty obviously a Christmas decoration, but I don't know, I kind of like it. So if you think I should leave it up, you let me know, because I'm leaning that direction. We opted for an apron style farm sink. We love it. The depth of it allows for so much stuff to go in there and be hidden. We did not do the dual sink. We just have one compartment, but I have no hang-ups or qualms with that. What we do is if we are going to hand wash anything, we just do that here, and then I have a little drying rack that we store above the refrigerator. So I don't need another compartment of the sink for drying or for clean dishes. I put the clean dishes up here to dry. And the majority of the dishes that we're washing go in the dishwasher anyway, so love our sink. And the backsplash. If you have watched our backsplash videos, you know that it was not fun at all to install, but I do have to say that we're really happy with it. It's beautiful. We were nervous about the color with it being so dark. That felt like kind of a bold choice, but we're glad because it chops up all of the whiteness that we went with everywhere else and makes the whites look whiter. We're really, really happy with our backsplash choice. We obviously put a lot of work into this kitchen. We settled on the house back at the end of July. We moved in at the end of September, and here we are halfway through January. It took a couple of months and it took a lot of work, a lot of sweat, a lot of help from friends and family, but we truly think that every minute that we put into this kitchen was so worth it. It is such an inviting space. It's such a comfortable space. We already had a couple of get-togethers here and it doesn't feel congested. It just feels welcoming. We're very thankful for it. We hope that you enjoyed the tour. We actually are going to be packing up here very shortly and heading to Hawaii. So when you are watching this video, we'll be in Hawaii, hopefully enjoying some sunshine and some warmer temperatures than what we've been experiencing in Pennsylvania. We love our kitchen. We hope that you do too, and we will see you next week. Fun fact. We made this video because we thought that we were 100% completed with the kitchen, and as it turns out, Clark actually pointed out that something is missing. So you'll have to go back through the footage and see if you can find the Easter egg. What did we not finish in the kitchen?